Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, CNBC News, and NBC Sports, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Podchaser, Rumble, and more. And this is a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K words at all. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So there are topics and guests and series and specials and monthly specials to that. And as you can see, I have my once a month fabulous expert dream interpreter. And we have already on camera our volunteer for the day. And as you can tell, I am not in my normal home loving room studio. I am traveling this week, doing some amazing fun things. I'm in Calabasas right now. John Shin is having a 2-day program that he invited me to, and I'll be speaking here and then going to the studio live tomorrow in Redlands. So the special series Straight Talk with Sam Works and Dr. Marissa, you're going to get to see me in the actual KCAA, and then starting a project at the IEUA. So I am delighted to be moving around again. I feel like I've sort of popped out of the COVID bubble. And hopefully, knock on wood, we still are COVID, have not developed any antibodies because I haven't gotten it yet. So we're hoping that that is going to be the case. But I'm welcoming you from John Shin's beautiful home out here in Calabasas. And today, let's see. We're going to start with an abbreviated gratitude sandwich because I want to give more time to my very special monthly guest, Julie Loar. She has a book out. She has many books out. They're award-winning. I can't get the bio in front of me since I am in a remote setup. So I'm going to see what I can do from memory. And then, Julie, you can you can fill in the blanks. But she has been on. You've enjoyed her interpretations of dreams from various people. We had the daughter of Otis Williams, the founder of the Temptations. You interpreted her dreams. You remember that? And you had a mystery guest who ended up being my daughter. We didn't tell her. And so we're delighted to have John Locke here, and you'll get to know more about him. He jumped right on the chance to do this at the last monthly interpretation. So that's what we're up to today. If you are watching us, that means you're able to actually type in comments. And if there's time, some people will actually put their dream in the comment section. I'll try to keep my eye on it. And if we have time, we'll do yours too. Or you'll be the next contestant up for Julie Loar's dream interpretation here on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. So let's have breakfast. Here we go. What are you grateful for, Julie?
Well, I just went through unexpected knee replacement surgery. So I am grateful for the surgeon, the hospital here in our little town, all the people who have sent good wishes and prayed for me. I have felt that. So it's an enormous blessing to feel that reciprocity come back into your life. And so I'm feeling gratitude in enormous amounts for that.
Wonderful. And John, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for friends, family, and community. As
Okay.
Julie said, it's without the sense of friends, family, and community, it's really tough to find gratitude. So I'm super grateful for friends, family, and community.
Beautiful. And the one rule is to be specific. So name one friend's name. You don't have to do the last name, but just one friend's name so they know.
Julie Loar.
Ah, oh, that's beautiful. I like. I wasn't expecting that, so that's cool. All right, and let's do what? Oh, I didn't do a gratitude. I'm grateful for my very smart phone that allows me to broadcast from everywhere. So that's what I'm grateful for. Now we're going to go to the bottom of the bun. Let me just check if anybody put in one in the comments. Nope. Okay, so the bottom of the bun is appreciation. And some people say, what's the difference between gratitude and appreciation? For me, and this is for me only, and there's a little bit of feedback. I'm not sure where that's coming from. Hopefully, Polly, you are not hearing that. If you are, let me know in the private chat. Appreciation to me is the fundamental basis of self-love and having a happy life 88% of the time. Because if we can't approve of ourselves, and if we can't nourish ourselves and soothe ourselves, it becomes a game of who loves me. And so every day is looking around for someone to approve of me and give me a compliment or like me. And with social media, it is literally like me. And we don't want to do that. We want to be able to go, I like this about myself. So that's what appreciation is in my book, in my breakfast. And I appreciate that I am creative and that I get inspired to do special series or anything like that. So what do you appreciate about yourself, John?
Having capacity and having functioning faculties.
Okay, great. And Julie?
Well, it's kind of fun. My surgeon told me that I have been the poster child for a successful operation and a model patient. So I appreciate that that has been true, and feel like all the people who have been praying and holding space have helped that.
Beautiful. Thank you. Let's see.
We
What do we
lost
have
your
next?
video, Dr. Marissa. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yes, I'm just trying to get rid of that sound because Polly also hears it. So I might drop off of the screen just to see if it's me and then test each of one of you. All right, here we go. So if you have any other device open, John or Julie, whether it's your phone or your computer, that will interfere. So if you can try to turn that off, that would be great. All right, here we go. We are going to jump into dream interpretation. And Julie, why don't you give a 2-minute commercial? Well, actually, first I want to thank our sponsor, Satyama Publishing. Oh, sorry, and Julie Loar. Julie Loar's book. I want you to say a little bit about that. And you are sponsoring this show. And also remind me, I'm giving away Asian Oprah giveaway tickets today to Engelbert Humperdinck. So if you're in the Southern California area on Saturday, he's performing at the Saban Theater. So I have 2 free tickets to go. And at the end of the show, you will remind me to tell people how to get those free tickets. All right? Fantastic. Oh, yay. I think the sound just went away. So whatever. Oh, no, it's still there. It's okay. So Julie, why are dreams important?
It's the big question, Dr. Marissa. And I think that, first of all, I would say that every culture on earth has known the importance of dreams as far back as we can look. Every culture, whether they're developed or native cultures, have known the value. And the thing that in the West we seem to have forgotten, we sort of think of ourselves as beings living in a 3D or temporal experience. having a soul, and maybe that soul we'll connect with when we die or whatever, when the reality is that we are instead an eternal soul having a temporary experience in space-time. And our soul is organized, if you will, or consciousness, our psyche is organized that we have a built-in guidance system, a built-in ability. I call them like avoiding the rumble strips on the highway, or knowing there's spinach in your teeth. That when we learn to listen and recognize the language of symbols that our consciousness speaks through, we have a ready-made, tailor-made, just for us guidance system to help us on the journey of our life and our spiritual path. And dreams and waking synchronicities as well are that mechanism. I didn't set out to write my last book. It came at the lockdown of the pandemic, and I apparently was ready and available. So whoever runs the bigger machinations of this universe said, okay, well, let's give her a job. And so I showed up every morning at my desk, and this book was the result, which includes a 7-step process for working with our dreams that came in a powerful dream. I don't know how close that was to 2 minutes.
No, that was perfect. That was perfect. So let's go ahead and get started. John, why don't you tell Julie your most recent dream, and I'll just let you keep going on that.
Okay, so I had a dream where I was in a very large city that had very large buildings. I jumped on a bus and was heading to the north end of town to go to a job interview. I made it to the job interview. The office had 3 or 4 rooms that were all white. The receptionist met me at the front desk. It was a brown desk. And the receptionist was dressed in almost like a geisha, kind of Asian, had facial face painting of red, yellow, and orange, and had green hair. To the left in the office was a brown couch with a young female and her mother, and then I went into the back room, and the room had white ceilings and white floors. The whole room was white. Did the job interview, left the office space, jumped back on a bus, traveled back to my original destination. When I got off of the bus, it was nighttime, and I realized that I had left my cell phone on the bus when I got off. I turned around and realized that I had lost my cell phone and was unable to call of any friends or family members. So I turned and began to walk back in the direction of where the bus came from. And as I did that, the street that ran in front of me turned into this silver infinity pool that just kind of just started flowing in all directions.
Hold on one second, Julie. Hold on one second. I put you on mute because it is coming from yours. So I don't know where it is over there, but that's okay. So when you're not talking, I'm going to put you on mute, and
Okay.
that's why you're not. Let's see if you're on mute. You're not on mute now. I think Polly put you off. So go ahead.
So, John, I was asking how recently, and Dr. Marissa knows, because we cover this every month, that dreams have a context in waking reality and are usually feedback or guidance about what's happening in our life right now. And I call that current issue. So was that dream recent, or how long ago did you have it?
Within a month or 2.
Okay. And so is there any change? It's a very powerful dream, John, for sure. And I'll go through some of the archetypal symbols and what I think they mean. But are you contemplating any sort of a shift in job or work, or what your situation would be. You begin in a large urban area, and then you end with this vast sort of symbol of infinity and openness, but you've lost your phone, your ability to communicate. So have you been pondering any sort of another big life change?
Yes.
Okay. So not surprising, that would be the answer. So that I think I'm going to start at the end and go back just to say that ending of this pool of a silver infinity sort of symbol feels like encouragement to me to say to you, the highway's open, but everything that you thought of before. And it's a contrast between white, which is potential higher consciousness. The rooms were white, but then you noticed a brown couch, a brown desk. So there were things that were grounding and earthy, or could represent things to, in a sense, to overcome. I did think it was interesting, of course, that somehow Dr. Marissa managed to get into the dream as well. So that was.
Hey, they say my new tagline should be Dr. Marissa. She's everywhere, but this is a new thing where I'm actually in someone's dream. I could go in a million places that are not that good. So I'm going to stop there.
Well, that's right. So I think I would say that this is, and I've identified three kinds of dreams. One I call feedback dreams, which are probably roughly 80%. And then maybe 18% of the dreams are encouragement dreams. And then there's a small percentage, which I call big dreams, which we remember our whole life. This could be one. It's a very powerful ending circumstance. Of course, again, looking at the symbols, you're in a large city, which is urban, which is, in a sense, we might think of mundane, everyday life, everybody doing their thing, going places. And then you get on a bus, and public transportation always represents, whether it's a train, a plane, or a bus. Once you're on that conveyance, you're not in charge of where you're going. It has a preset destination. So all you can do is either stay on the bus till it gets there or get off and make a different choice. So you're on your way to the job interview. And it was interesting and something for you to think about, maybe not necessarily now, but what was the job you were interviewing for? And was it more of a 3D position, or is this dream, as I suspect, processing the more spiritual journey you're on in your life and moving into a different state? So, it's interesting. We could probably spend a whole bunch of time on what Dr. Marissa was doing in your dream and what she had to say with the geisha, which of course is Japanese, but it's still interesting in terms of the Asian message there. So you end your dream at night. You've gone, you've come back. We don't know if you got the job, and you realize you left your cell phone on the bus. And so I think that might mean, and I should put in parentheses the caveat, it's always your dream. The dreamer is always the primary authority on meaning, but your ability to communicate with everything in your life that's familiar has been left on the bus. So you are at a threshold of a complete new potential, a silver infinity pool where what you've done before isn't going to work anymore. And now it's time for new choices, new opportunities, and a new way to communicate, because at the least you're going to have to find your phone or get a new one. So I think it's a very supportive dream, supports choices and pat on the back and saying, well, here you are. But of course, when we have these dreams and these things in life, it doesn't necessarily take away our waking sense of insecurity or, well, gee, this sounds like a great idea, but how am I going to support myself? But this is your soul and psyche saying, in a sense, well done. You're off the bus. It's now up to you to step in that pool of infinity and keep moving.
Interesting.
Dr.
Yes.
What would you add to that?
I would, first of all, I want to thank Morningstar has been chatting, and it sounds like she agrees with you and vice versa on the phone removal, losing the phone. Let me just put you on mute for a second. The phone being left on the bus. Morningstar is saying that it could be the removal of limits. So the things that you know and the things that you've been through and the things that you are familiar with that may have been limiting you are now left on the bus. It's going one way and you are free to explore and be and do and have and know. That you can hear my Esther Hicks law of attraction verbiage there. So that's kind of cool. Also, I think Julie said and addressed one of your earlier comments that who is a dream expert and what qualifies you to be a dream expert. And I do know from a personal place that I used to not believe at all in the significance of dreams, because dreams are past. I'm into the present. Everything is real time. Now sounds again like Esther Hicks, one of my teachers who I love what Abraham says for us in the law of attraction to be, do, or have anything. However, I have changed my tune, literally. I'm a daydream believer, and because the reality is, Julie has done thousands of hours of research and been doing this for a while, and there's themes, and she's done those requisite 10,000 hours to make her an expert in something, number one, not to defend, but at the same time, we all dream, and I didn't know this. Whether we acknowledge it, remember it, or know it, we all dream for, what is it, average of 2 hours a night. So if it's there, and then I blocked someone who had some, negative comments because they were preaching that this was, of the devil or something, which I think is silly, because what happens in all of our experiences, I'm not a big believer in the devil. I believe that there are, there's a plethora of positive forces in our life, and anything we do to block it is considered something that's limiting. And so I don't believe in that external entity. I believe we have control of what goodness comes. Either we allow it or we block it. So we can be our own little devil on the shoulder. But what we're doing here is taking something that naturally happens to us in life and using it to enhance our lives and understanding of what's going on in our life. So to repeat Julie's 3 categories of dreams. Now, see, I'm a student. One is a attaboy dream. So she said that part of your dream was attaboy and encouraging you. Second is the feedback dream. You may have wanted to do something different. And then third is life lesson type of dreams, which it also sounds it qualifies for that. So you had a combo dream, John. with a little dash of Dr. Marissa in there. And I would say me being in there, John watches and listens to me for a little while now. And so to me, I would say that my part in the dream is supporting the attaboy, that this is, I would also say that it's possible that it was Kuan Yin. I was told that I have Kuan Yin energy. I didn't even know who Kuan Yin was. And my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith, also has that Kuan Yin energy. And I didn't understand any of that. A friend of mine a while back said, you should ask who your spiritual guide is. And I did, I'm a reluctant woo-woo. I'm not into, sometimes I'm just like, I like I'm a PhD. Science, give me the science. But what I've realized is that all happens whether I acknowledge it or not. So she said, put a piece of paper under your pillow and say, who is my spiritual guide? And what appeared was similar to what you described in your dream.
is a woman in a, the geisha robe and the hair and all that. And when I told her, she said, "Oh, that's Kuan Yin." And I'm like, "Who's Kuan Yin?" And I had to look it up. And this is not the time to remind me to tell the story if we have time, but how that got validated. So that's to answer your question, Julie, why I thought I was in John's dream. And no, we're not dating. So if you think it's any of that, that's not. And we just got a finger. Someone just gave us a finger. They gave us a thumbs up. So thank you very much. If you've just tuned in, you are listening to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. I am remote today. I'm grateful for my smartphone. We are doing our once a month Dream Expert with Julie Loar. She's the author of Signs and Symbols. Did I get that right? You're going to tell me if I got that right. Let's see. And we have a very... That's right. That's right. Maybe if you turned your mic down a bit, Julie, that might be the feedback. All right. John, any other dreams that you've been having? Think about that. I'm going to put Julie back on mute. And let me look at Morningstar. Let's see, she's got a whole lot to say here. But John, go ahead and I'll read Morningstar's comments. Another dream that you've had.
Yeah, before I digress, I think that that's great synchronicity, signs and symbols, because I had never met you or seen you when I had the dream, and here we are several whiles later. So it's just great that it's reinforcing the dream interpretation and the overall collective that we're working from. So I just think that's so great.
Fantastic. And guess what, John? As a gift for being a victim, volunteer on this monthly dream interpretation, Julie gifts her book of the synchronicity that you just referred to, and you get that book as an Asian Oprah giveaway today. Hold on.
Woo-hoo.
Let's get here we go. Oh no, that's not it. There we go. Yay! So you do get that, and please do enjoy it, and remind me to make sure I send that to you in a PDF form. All right, go ahead. Next dream.
Okay, well, I have a whole slew of dreams. I just let me think.
Well, as you're thinking, Morningstar says secretly you could be the Silver Surfer. That's interesting. I've never heard that term before. I'm really good at surfing. The first time I surfed, I stood up because I was on the beach and not in the water. But okay. Morningstar is pro dreams. It's my belief. Oh, here, let me put it on the screen. It's my belief that the ability to dream is the sign of having the only sight that remains after the flesh dies. Those who can't dream, I believe, are blind after death. Outer awareness. That's an interesting comment. I'll ask Julie to comment on that. Mind sight is also dream sight, and being able to navigate a dream like you're awake is called lucid dream. Yes, Julie introduced that a couple of dream shows ago, a stepping stone of astral projection and remote. D. Noel Clayton said that she just had a weird dream, LOL. So if we have time, D. Noel, you can just go ahead and type the dream there. And if we have time, Julie can take a look at that. And Morningstar, you're so helpful this morning. Move speakers away from microphones. Well, the thing is, I don't have a microphone except on my phone. And Julie's microphone, I think, is inside her computer. So that's why I asked you to turn the volume down. But so if you're wondering who's also in the studio that you don't see their face, the wonderful opportunity that we have with technology now is to stream live to you so you can watch and listen. Those of you who are in your car, please do not watch and listen. Keep your eye on the road on my AM 1050 FM 106.5 station, KCAA. It is an NBC News radio station and covering 5 million homes. And I'm so grateful to all of you for making me the #1 talk show at 8 a.m. Also, I just wanted to celebrate today is my 857th show on my 558 consecutive weeks on the air. So I just wanted, yesterday I forgot to do that when it was 555. And I'm giving myself an attaboy non-dream. So thank you for tuning in. And at the end of the show, which is coming in about 20 minutes, I will give you the key to get 2 free tickets to Gilbert Humperdinck at the Saban Theater this Saturday. All right, back to the show, because that was your commercial break. We are going to, John, have you thought of another dream?
Yeah. It's a little short, but quick. Okay, so I was in a school or a university of sorts, and I was on the 2nd floor. And I looked down this spiral staircase, and there was a young girl, and I watched her fall and hit her tailbone and injure her lower back. So I slid down the stairrail to kind of help assist. When I got down in the 1st floor, there was like chunks of, and what in my mind was golden pieces of pineapple. So we began to eat the pineapple, pieces of pineapple, and then I went back up onto the 2nd floor. When I went back up on the 2nd floor, there was a huge red kind of gold helicopter. I jumped on the back bay of the helicopter, and it proceeded to take me towards what in the dream seemed like people were going on a pilgrimage to see like a guru. And so I got dropped off halfway to the destination and got dropped off on a beach. There was other people walking on this golden beach was to the left, and then on the right was a really deep blue water. And I walked up on this group of about 7 people, couple males, couple females, and I looked over the shoulder of one the guys, and he had his cell phone, and he was watching these 2 black snakes on the cell phone. And then when I looked down in the sand, the snakes transposed into the sand. We made it to this ashram of sorts, and we were all kind of hanging out waiting for this teacher to show up. And I was sitting to the left of the ashram by myself on a stone wall, and he came up. He had the full stereotypical Swami kind of garb, and he looked at me and kind of in a laughing manner said, "Oh, Jesus." And as he walked past me, he kind of walked past and through me. Then I woke up.
Wow. First of all, John, that was not a short dream. And I'm telling you, if you're not a writer, you should start writing, because your recall of your dreams is so detailed. And I know you've written them down, which is actually one of the suggestions that Julie gives. If you are interested in getting more insight to your life, that this is an untapped area that I wasn't aware of. So if you just put a book or a blank book or a journal and a pen, and I started doing this myself, is when I do have a dream and I wake up from it, instead of going back to sleep, I just jot down some words or whatever and then go back to sleep. However, John, if you're writing in that much detail, you're not getting a whole lot of sleep. So you might want to lighten up on the capture. But anyways, lots of stuff to unpack there, Julie. I'm going to unmute you here. What do you think?
Classic symbolism, and I think that many of the symbols that are included in this dream are, again, classic about the spiritual path. So you're at a school or a university, classic symbolism about learning, our life lessons, and so on. you make the statement that you're on the second floor. Buildings always in dreams represent aspects of our consciousness. When we dream of a house or being in a home, that's typically our own individual psyche, where underground is subconscious, main floor is our normal waking conscious, and a higher level is upper level. So you're at the second floor of this university, which probably once again is sort of like mainstream regular life lessons where people are. But then you look down a spiral staircase. It was almost like listening to you in this dream. You're describing a conscious yoga meditation of looking down the spine, the spiral staircase of the spinal column, and what that represents. Second floor could represent a chakra. So the young girl is injured at the bottom of it. And sorry if I'm going over the treetops of what many people may know, but in the Hindu tradition, the Kundalini is seen as a feminine goddess. It's called the slumbering serpent. So down the spiral staircase is this young girl who's injured. So in other words, perhaps that energy flow is not working in the way that it absolutely needs to. So you go to help. And then there's this golden pineapple. Wow, I could probably talk a whole hour about what that might mean. But pine cones, pineapples, sunflowers all grow in a spiral way that people have noticed for. And so it adds to that sort of Kundalini spiral energy. And then this helicopter comes. I love that whole part. So to me, you're waiting for the teacher, and guess what? You are him. It's a matter of you're not waiting for somebody else outside to come and teach you. It's about using what's there and the rotating blades of the helicopter, the energy, all of it. And at the end of the day, we are our own teacher. We can learn from people, we can learn from books, we can learn from experts, but ultimately it's up to us. And once again, this could be a huge conversation, but it isn't just necessarily about, well, I'm going to go get a program like Dr. Marissa has and talk to millions of people, or I'm going to be that spiral staircase, that essence of light in my own life, and spread that wherever I am so that it radiates out to whoever I touch and whatever I do. Like Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Person on the Planet Award. So once again, I think this is, and the black snakes. I mean, come on, once again, it's another Kundalini reference of how that energy is moving through you. Anyway, that's again, we could spend a long time on this dream. Dr. Marissa?
Yeah, that there is a ton of symbolism in that. I thought it was interesting that she hurt her tailbone sliding down that spiral staircase, which the word chakra came to my mind when you said that. I absolutely see the same thing that Julie is referring to, that the search for outside, let me just put you on, the search for a wisdom or a knowing or an understanding from outside of you there's more than enough inside of you to guide you without continuously looking for that which is not that for that which is already in. So I think that is it's a common event or circumstance or phenomena that I see in many people who come to me for coaching, is that just a continuous look for something that is already within them. And so my job as a coach is not to teach you what you don't know. It is to help you, as I said earlier in the show, allow that which is already the wisdom that you have a connection to in a friendly universe to be seen and heard and realized by by discontinuing the limiting beliefs that we have of ourselves. So I hear that life theme in you, both of your dreams, over and over and over again. And again, I would say your ability to I'm audio clariant. I hear the voice of a friendly universe. I call him my UPS man, universal power source, who delivers every morning or every day when I pray and meditate. And this show is a direct result of me being woken up at 4:30 in the morning, and my UPS man said, radio. And I'm like, radio? Well, you know, I'd been doing some TV commentary. Why would I want to do radio? And radio. And I'm like, what? Oh, okay. Can we talk about this a little later? Right? 4:30 in the morning, little hour. Radio. So I literally walked to my computer, sat down for 44 minutes, came up with the title of this show, which I think is a little clever, but not mine. It was brought through me. Take my advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show, just in case you're wondering who you're watching right now. And then, you know, I had the manifesto, the guests. I've had every guest I've ever wanted, you know, everybody but the Dalai Lama. I did get an email from him. He doesn't do radio anymore. So, but anyways, all of this came as an audio clarion. You, my friend, are absolutely, what do you call it? The visual clarion. I don't know if there's a technical part for the video, for the visual, but you see that. So I would say, as a result of today, if you haven't already become an expresser of what you're seeing, either through your writing or drawing or creating, you have that. You have easy access to that. So all you told me yesterday when I reminded you of your opportunity here today, that you have an entire book of dreams that you've collected. So therein, you know, there might be some collaboration here with Julie, but the richness of the way that you see your dreams is a gift. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. That was a compliment. I'm glad you took it that way. Julie?
Just to say, clairvoyant is the word for the people who see.
Thank you. I told you, I'm a reluctant woo-woo.
Yeah.
So we have some comments here. Let's see. Morning Star. There's a anti-civilization vibe in your dreams. Being on an elevated floor to me says that you are watching the world. I'm sorry if I'm stumbling here. I just found out I have PSC, posterior subcapsular cataracts. And so I have very fast deteriorating eyes in the last 10 months. So the good news is cataract surgery will correct it. So watching the world instead of being part of it, yes, that's what I was saying. There's also an escapism note with how the dreams end, okay? And you could be like something if this computer suddenly starts giving you directions. It's kind of the same storyline. Okay, so we're all vehemently agreeing, John, about the significance of your dreams. And how anything else on dreams for John, Julie, or John? What's your reaction? Actually, let's go to John. He hasn't spoken in a while. What's your reaction to all of this analysis paralysis?
It's pretty revealing. It definitely, I had mixed emotions about some of the symbols and the interpretations and my own interpretations of the dreams. So it's good to get more positive reinforcement, because there's a part of us that is always kind of doubting.
I have 2 words for you on that. You ready? You're looking at me? Stop it.
Right. Easier said than done. Practice, practice, practice. And I think the dreams, as they reveal that's the ongoing theme, is it take hold of your power, take hold of your potential, getting rid of all those 40 some years of enculturated beliefs. I'm
BS.
coming up.
BS. That's all BS. It is
Exactly.
belief systems that do not serve you. And so today is December. Today is January what day is it?
10.
10th? Okay. 1/10/23, 1/1, right? 1/10/23. That's a very auspicious number just in the sequencing of that. So, John, today is the first day for the rest of your life that every time anything that sounds like a limiting belief, oh, you're not that great, or you don't really understand this, or you might be doing well, but all of that from this day forward, as soon as you hear that, I want you to just take a deep breath in through the nose. Ready? And releasing. Soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. This is a 3-breath technology. 2, breathe in. And releasing all the stories and the drama. That's the most powerful part of your breath. Breath is chi, eternal energy. It's what connects us all. And you can access that power that connects us to all and to a friendly universe. That's the second breath. Third breath. Ready? And releasing. Open your mouth. And you're going to push out all of the limiting beliefs and use that breath as a connection now to clear your mind. Clear. So the first breath was a connection to body, right? Soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. Second breath to the mind. Third breath to the soul and psyche and your connection to everyone else. So every time, it's not going to take you 40 years to release those, but it is going to take you some discipline to catch it and then treat it immediately, so that I don't want a fraction of a second to come in for that limiting belief to take root again. It's a habit. You have a bad habit, not bad. You have a non-useful habit, John, of allowing the BS in your life to live in your head. So as of today, 1/10/23, it is, I got your number. Okay? You got it?
Yeah. Hi, my name's John. I'm a 2% mind. I'm an addictive doer. Do.
And you do this, do that, do this, and you end up in do. So no more do for you, John. Julie, say something quick before I mute you again, because there's definitely a speaker feedback on you. All right, go ahead.
Keep trying to
That's
solve
okay.
technology problem. I can't figure out what it is. I wanted to reflect back, I think, to something that Morningstar brought. There's a tradition in yoga called Bon Yoga, or the Tibetan yoga tradition called Dream Yoga, that says that if we learn to lucid dream while we're in this lifetime, it prepares us for the bardo. It's its own whole subject. But I think the other thing that's important, picking up on what you were just saying, Dr. Marissa, in terms of John, we all have this. I mean, we are here, and that's the point, to get the perspective correctly. Our soul sends a part of its essence on a journey through time space to learn lessons. We're here in school. It's not just a one-time deal, and we're here, we get all the toys we can, and then we leave and do something else. We're here for a purpose. We're here to learn, and we come in to heal the things that may be limiting us from other lifetimes that we picked up, or who knows what it may be. But to be and learn to be the most positive influence for ourselves that we can be on the planet through radiating the light and love that we possess. And I think that I find with all the clients that I work with is something we seem to struggle with the most. It's just learning to love and accept ourselves for the beautiful beings that we are. And we're often just judging, criticizing, doubting, all of that. And it's my own experience that dreams are one of the most powerful ways that we can get this symbolism and get this understanding. And symbols, I loved what you said, John, about having mixed feelings about some of some of the symbols, and it's true. And there are some people who may think serpents, for example, are really powerful beings. They're symbols of wisdom in many cultures. And other people, as we saw earlier, want to make something into something that's evil. Lack of understanding. So working with this language for ourselves that is speaking to us, and sometimes is it a toy? Is it a tool? Is it a weapon? What's all of that we learn to work with to engage our own power, presence, and capacity to love and help light the world in this time?
Beautifully said. Beautifully said, Julie. Thank you. That was also a gift of words there, John. I hope you took it that way.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Morningstar has her interpretations as well. She thinks you should disconnect from your phone, in short. I absolutely would like to invite any of you who are interested in having your dream interpreted to contact Julie. JulieLoar.com, I believe, is how you can find her. Yes. You're good. And that way she can do a consultation for you in private. If you would like to be the next victim volunteer for next month when Julie comes back and does a dream interpretation, you are welcome to do so by going to drmarissa.life and putting down, just scroll to the bottom, or it'll say guest on the show. You want to be part of a dream interpretation, and we'll put you in the books like John did. D. Noel Clayton, we have a quick, well, I don't know. Let's just put it on here. If we don't have time, we will invite D. Noel to be the victim for next month. But she says, I was driving with my aunt and then I started having labor pains. I told her I can't drive because I'm about to have a baby, but I started driving anyway. Stubborn as she is. No, I'm just kidding. I obviously know, Noel, the baby was coming out, but then when it came out, it wasn't a real baby. It was a doll, and I wake up. So very quickly, Julie, can you give D. Noel a little bit of interpretation? You have 20 seconds.
Get in touch with what it is you want to create and give birth to. Stop driving the car and connect with what it is that you want to create in your life. Stop denying
it. Stop denying what?
Denying it and preventing it. Embrace it.
Wow, powerful, D. Noel. I think she hit that nail right on the head. And we are winding down to the end of the show. I really, first, don't forget, Dr. Marissa, Asian Oprah giveaway, 2 tickets to Engelbert Humperdinck. He is still performing. I saw him a few years ago. Amazing show. The first person to go to drmarissa.life and put in Engelbert Humperdinck, you'll have to look that up on how to spell it. We'll get 2 tickets to the Savant Theater this Saturday. The show's at 8, I believe. So you get really good tickets. I will be there. So if you find me, we'll do some shots to put up on Instagram, Doc Balance. I also would like to invite any of you who want dream coaching to go to Julie and sign up with her at julieloar.com. If you want some happiness coaching with me, drmarissa.life as well, because we all just really want, I'm on a happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. So that is it for today's show. Thank you so much, John, for coming. I hope you got a lot out of this. And Julie, always, thank you so much. If you will do this with me, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. I'm Dr. Marissa reporting live from Calabasas today. We'll see you tomorrow. Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa and Sam Works in studio. Now go and have the best day ever. Oh, and thank you, D. Noel and Morningstar, for participating in the show today. Bye.